Cassie Broadhead, the artist formerly known as Cassie Broadhead because she got married. It's Devashrayee. Are we saying that correctly?
Yeah, that's correct.
Devashrayee.
I have the hardest name on the team now.
How does Jeff Judkins say it?
Perfectly, surprisingly.
What?
He can't get my first name right, but he gets my last name right.
Kathy, Devashrayee, we lead the league in scoring.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
It is amazing.
Wow.
The other day in practice, he said it perfect.
Devashrayee?
Yeah.
Were you like
Whoa.
shocked?
I was shocked.
Yeah.
Everyone was shocked. We had a little moment of silence. You know.
In honor
stopped.
of a correct thing.
Everybody stood up and clapped.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
right.
Let's catch up with you from last season to now. So last season, you win WCC Player of the Year. You guys go to the NIT. What's your off season been like? You get married. Is your tooth doing okay? We got to catch up with you.
Yeah, there's been a lot going on. My tooth was good. I was nervous for wedding, but they're straight.
Yeah, let's rewind to that. You get elbowed in the face. Your tooth is like hanging on a limb, and you come back into the game. Like what?
We had to win. We had to win.
That's a winner right there.
Oh, I love it so much. But everything's good now?
Everything's good.
Grill's in place.
Yep. Still will need dental work in the future, but it could have been worse.
Was it worth it?
It was worth it.
There you go.
It was worth it to come back.
What's your husband's name?
Travis.
Travis. I've walked into the Marriott Center Annex before, although I can't get through with the thumbprint there. I got to talk to Heath Schroyer and those guys.
Yeah.
I'll talk to Jetty. Yeah. He rebounds for you, and like a lot. What role is he the rebounder in your marriage? Is that the role he plays?
So yeah, we shoot a lot. He plays at Westminster.
Oh, okay.
And so it's
He'll play against BYU?
Yeah.
Wow. That's an exhibition game for BYU.
Yeah, so we always like free time or because we both need to shoot, we'll rebound for each other. And so over the course of the summer, we were in there every day, which was nice. And nice for them to let him come.
That's true. Like, is he sitting there, like, rebounding, like, doing this, looking over his shoulder?
What are they doing?
Thankfully, we never went when they were there. We tried to keep those two separate.
That could be really awkward, right? Yeah.
I can't believe we waited this long to ask this question. What did Juddy get you for a wedding present?
He came to my wedding. That was big.
That's good.
Wow.
He gave me a little note card, and his wife made us a little treat. So
and he memorized your last name.
He did.
That is the greatest gift
He did.
he could have given you.
He didn't call you Kathy.
No.
On your wedding day.
He didn't.
Congratulations, Kathy.
So last night was the blue and white scrimmage. We saw that Malia Namahine scored 22. That's good. Another kind of high-powered score on the team. What do you think of this group that you have going into the season?
Well, as you can see probably from last night, we were a lot faster and taller, which you never would think those two things would go in the same sentence.
Faster and taller.
Faster and taller. And just more dynamic, as you could tell from Brenna and Malia. We can shoot, we can drive. I just feel like we really stretch the floor, but then we also have inside presence. And so I think we were missing some of those things at certain points in the season. Bigs would be on and then guards would be on, but we never quite meshed. So hopefully this year we'll be able to have a wide variety of assets to use. And as we saw from last night, Malia can score a lot of points for us, but then we also have a lot of players that maybe had a little off night but have a lot of potential.
Well, again, you're the reigning conference player of the year. So what do you work on? What did you work on all offseason to try and better your game?
So I always focus on efficiency, especially with the people I knew we had coming in. There's going to be a lot of shots for a lot of people. So my main goal is to be efficient, to have a high shooting percentage so I don't have to take a lot of shots. Can be more of a playmaker, more of a passer. Because if I'm the only one scoring, that's easy to guard. And so my main focus was this summer to get everybody on the same page, to be that leader, to help all the new freshmen, all the new players understand his system because it's complex. And so that was my main goal, be in great shape so I don't have to come out unless necessary. And so those three things are my biggest things, and hopefully this year I'll be able to show.
Do you want to play all 40 minutes? Like, is that your preference?
I mean, it's nice to have a little bit rest, but if that's what it takes to win, I can do it.
Yes,
there's a competitor in the game where you just don't want to come out, right? And if you come out, it's like, I just have to come out because I'm too tired. That's the case for me in church ball. today, in fact, in a few minutes, the preseason teams and poll will come out. Do you care about these things? Do they provide motivation if it's not what you want? Does it validate you in any way?
I don't really care for them. I care about the team one because I think that if we're undervoted, I think it creates a lot of motivation. When we went to the Sweet 16 a few years ago, we were voted 4th or 5th, I think, and everyone took that as seriously. So I think it's a good thing, but I don't look at it too much as, oh, they foretell our future. I think take it more as, well, that's what they think. We'll see if they're right.
So you almost want it to be too low.
Yeah.
So that it's
Vote us
motivation.
last place,
That's
please.
Yeah. That's interesting, yeah.
Just fuels fire.
Right.
Yeah. We mentioned Malia Nawahine, the transfer from the University of Utah. Who else is going to turn some heads this year? Because we know about you and saw just a glimpse of what Malia does, but who else will turn heads on this BYU team?
I think Chalet Salmon will turn a lot of heads. She had an up and down year last year, but she was a freshman. She had a lot of learning to do, but she's been such a force in practice. No one can stop her. No one can, the only person that can stop her is herself. And so I think she has a chance to be an all-league player. And a lot of people don't know that because of maybe the ups and downs in last year. But she worked really hard. Along with Chalet, I think Amanda's going to be a vital role. She's going to be that key role player that people don't notice. They don't see the stuff on the stat sheet. She's, our emotional leader. She does all the dirty work for us. And Brenna, she had a good freshman year, and she's continuing to grow. So I think we have a lot of people that are going to surprise a lot of people. So I'm excited for them. I'm excited for our new freshmen because we have good freshmen.
Yeah, the New Zealand connection is still in play. Even though Kalani Purcell is gone, Chalet is representing New Zealand, 6'3" sophomore. I mean, she's got a lot of talent.
In the men's game and in the NBA, like, length is a huge deal now with, defensively and like 6'8" guys that can shoot threes and whatever. You said taller, faster.
Mm-hmm.
Did BYU recruit that way in the offseason? Is that a thing in the women's game more? Hey, we need a little more length?
Yeah, no, Juddy has always had good bigs, tall bigs, and we kind of lacked that last year because of different circumstances. So I think it was a major goal of his and the recruit and all of our coaches in recruiting to have length because it affects the game. You can't teach length, and it affects so many shots. It affects how we play defense, and it affects other teams, how much they attack or don't attack. So I think it was definitely planned. Juddy did his work, and I think it will benefit us.
What do you expect from this BYU team early in the season? Because there are so many question marks always when you get going.
Yeah.
Like, so what do you anticipate early in the season?
We're going to have some ups and downs, not clicking as much probably because of so many new faces. But I think we're also going to have spurts where we realize, like, wow, like, we are good. And I don't think we even realize how good we can be. But we have a potential with, I think we have 9 games at home to start the preseason. So I think we have a huge potential to win 10 games. And I think that's going to surprise everybody with who we lost, very vital, important people, and then who we gained. Kalani, Fuller, Kenzie, they were big roles on this team. Kalani, a 2-year starter, Kenzie, a 3-year starter, and so how do we fill that void? But I think we have the right pieces to fill that void and hopefully be better.
Let's look at that schedule for a sec. You play at Washington. That's a return trip there since they were in Provo last year. Georgia at home. That's a good game.
Great game.
Utah State and Utah. The Malia Nawahine versus the old teammates game,
right.
December 9th at Cal, December 16th. So there's a good non-conference slate. You want to get into the NCAA tournament. Being in at-large position is always nice, but what does the non-conference slate maybe do in preparation for this team before you get here in March?
Well, they always try to get teams that are a little bit more physical, kind of an East Coast style game because
you like that? You're from New York.
Yeah, it's my kind of style of ball. Because in the NCAA tournament, you don't know where you're going to fall. And if you don't prepare for that, it's just different. And so our coaches try really hard to make it so we have a good preseason schedule, but also one that, we can accomplish. Not something that's too far-fetched. And so we need to have a good preseason in order to get into the tournament. Because of our conference, we don't get a lot of those bids like the big conferences, and so our preseason is very important. And so that's kind of like, we don't overlook it. We have to win games. We have to win a lot of games in order to be seen by the NCAA committee.
Cassie Broadhead, Devashrayee with us on
Devashrayee.
Sports Nation.
Are we saying it correctly?
Mm-hmm.
Devashrayee. It sounds like a perfume or a cologne.
Yes.
Very
Kind of fancy.
Very fancy. Yeah. When you look at the other teams in the West Coast Conference, the other players, you're going to see some of them today in there. Do you have someone that you communicate with outside of like your BYU circle, or is it like, okay, you're on the other team, there's kind of a division of state here?
I don't really. I know Jetty's really close with the St. Mary's coach.
Paul Thomas.
Yeah. So they're really close, but I have a little connection with San Diego because Stephanie Rivetti is on their staff and she played here. But other than that, I not just play.
Handshakes. It's not hug situations. It's handshakes. Today?
Yeah, just respect competitors.
Let's finish with this. We always give Dan Nielsen and Melinda, when she was here, a hard time about getting technical fouls. Who is the first coach to get a technical foul this season on the BYU bench?
Probably Dan. He defends us, so it's a good thing.
Yeah.
Yes, he does.
They're good techs. Yeah.
Cassie, it's great to have you with us. Best of luck in the approaching season and some BYU Sports Nation karma if you would like it.
No, I need all the karma I can get.
And we can't wait to see your husband. What's his name again?
Travis.
Devashrayee.
Travis Devashrayee. Westminster versus BYU in a couple weeks in the Marriott Center.
He's been scouting the Cougars.
Yeah. Are you wearing a Westminster shirt that night, or are you going to keep it BYU?
I have to. He's my husband.
Understood. Yeah.
So.
Just checking your loyalty.